What is an audit plan and what is an audit program? Is it only the term that is important, or there is something more important in these two definitions? You must understand it thoroughly because the requirement of the standard is coming from this. Now, audit program is a number of audit that will have to be conducted over a period of time. Now, why you need to have an audit program? See, as an organization implementing quality management system, or for that matter, any other management system, need to establish, implement, maintain, and continuously improve that system. So whether the implementation is effective and whether the organization is achieving its objectives, that's the whole idea for any management system, has to be performed over a period of time. If you do not do that, you will not know whether your organization is having effective system that will produce the results or not. So you need to do periodic audits. It's like a health check process that you must do to make sure your organization system is stable. And if the system is stable, the results will be achieved. And that's the foundation for you to look for where are the opportunities for improving, what can be done even better. So the standardization and then further improvement, all these will happen only when there is an effective system that is periodically verified. That verification process is basically audit. So depending on the criticality of the organization, depending on the previous audit results, and based on the changes, depending on the changes made in an organization, risks will go up. If there was a previous non-conformities in certain areas, there are a lot of non-conformities, and that's a weak area that needs to be looked at with more greater emphasis. For example, you change some system, certain areas, certain things are done in a different way now that used to happen in a different way. So whether the new system is well established has to be checked. Also, certain areas are high risk areas for any organization. For example, critical control points we talk about for a food industry. Anything goes wrong will have significant impact on the product quality. Defective product will be produced. Defective product may not be detected and going to the customer, causing further disaster. Therefore, those critical processes definitely needs more control. So audit is nothing but a risk control process. By doing systematic audit, you look at what can go wrong and make sure the safeguards that you have, nothing can go wrong. Proactive measures are in place and all risk control measures are effectively implemented. Therefore, an organization needs to develop a program. That is the first thing in any organization. Now, why it is important for an auditor? A third-party auditor is actually endorsing a system by random samples. We have no time as third party to look at everything that they are doing. An organization is doing hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs. In a third-party audit, we take random sample. Now, what is the basis of random sample? The basis of random sample is they have a robust system and they are actually monitoring those systems quite well. And on a periodic interval, they've got capable people to do it. And the high risk areas are controlled over a period of time at a periodic interval. That gives us the confidence, well, they have got a robust system, they have got a regime of control, they have got internal audit program established, they are doing periodic audit. So some random sample will give us sufficient confidence. And that's the reason random sampling can happen. So this is all about audit program. So number of audits that has to be done to make sure system remains under control is an audit program which has to be developed based on the criticality of the processes, based on the previous audit results and changes made in the system. The whole idea is risks are kept under control. Now, once the organization has got, say, 2 or 3 audits over a period of time, we as an auditor look at whether this audit program has been really implemented. Say, for example, January there was an audit supposed to be done and they have done it. There is an evidence. And June also they have done. You are in the month of September. So you can ask, can I have a look at your audit program? Okay, January there was an audit supposed to be done. Based on this criticality, these are the processes you are supposed to do as per your audit program. Can I have a look at whether you have done that? It's not suddenly I thought that, well, let us do an audit and keep a record so to make the auditors happy. This adhocism is not what is expectation of the standard. The standard requires a systematic process. So as an auditor, external auditor, when we go, we look at implementation of that audit program. So whether January audit was done reasonably on time, June audit was done on time, audits were done by competent people, independent persons, with independence, objective audits were done. They were all reported. All audits were conducted in accordance with their protocol, their requirements. All records of audits are retained as documented information. All corrective actions that they might have raised have been closed within the defined timeline is what we see for assessing the implementation of the audit program. That is the first thing. An audit plan is how one particular audit will be conducted, right from assigning the audit team members, when the audit will start, when the audit will finish, what time of the day audit will start, what time which auditor will do audit of which elements, where they will be going for the audit, which department they will go, which unit of an organization will be audited, from what time to what time they will be doing the audit, how they will travel, for example, even that is considered, where is the break time, how they will discuss among the audit team, whether the auditor interim briefing, how they will communicate with the customer, and when they will have the opening meeting, lunch, closeout meeting, and presenting the audit observation and the conclusion, all are part of an audit plan. So an audit plan is from start to end how one particular audit will be done, who are the auditors, who will be doing what all elements will be audited, and the timeline when they will start, when they'll finish. All those details are part of audit plan. And of course, an audit plan will have a scope, objective and criteria, and other requirements of audit would also include that all records are retained as documented information. This means they will be available for a defined period of time and will be protected from deterioration or damage. If they're electronic document, they're safeguarded, they will be able to show us the records that they can retrieve, and each audits are identified properly to show that, yeah, that was the time we are supposed to do the audit and that was exactly when the audit was done and this is the audit number and so on. And that's how internal audit is actually conducted and audited.